And we're back, day 4 today. Oh gosh, guys, I'm so happy to be here. I've seen some people commented underneath the previous videos on day 1 to 3, their insights, their things that they got out of the talks that I've done so far. But I also get a lot of private text, and I love that. Please keep sending me with your insights, your lessons, your takeaways, your action steps, because this is really helping me create something of value for you guys, and that's all I want. That's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm trying to help you save time, attract more clients, and really start, launch, and grow your business. So hearing all this feedback, it just makes me feel so blessed and grateful that I'm able to do this. And here we are in day 4 together. And we're going to talk about your online presence today. And we're going to talk about marketing strategies. And to be able to talk about that, we need to understand something first. And that is your customer journey. I don't know if you've ever heard about this, your customer journey. But it takes a client through the 5 phases of the customer journey. Now, I know some coaches, everybody has different names for the phases, but they're exactly the same. Don't get confused. Don't get tricked into people having a special system or no. It's 5 phases, and the first one is awareness. So this is the phase when people, you're popping up on their social media feed, or they hear about you because you do a pitch or you share something. They had no clue who you are, what you're doing, and suddenly you're on their radar. So that's your awareness phase. And this is the moment that they're thinking, oh, I didn't know there was such a thing as sleep consultants. Or who is that person? What is he doing? So this is the awareness phase. And then they move on to the second phase. And this is the consideration phase. So they sign up for a freebie, they have a conversation with you, they send you a DM, and they start trying to understand what is going on, what is he doing, could this be helpful for me? And this is the stage that they are the phase where they go from like, oh, that sounds good, I'm not quite convinced yet. And they're trying to figure out what's going on, what you're doing. So this is the phase of nurturing. This is when you have the conversations or when you send the email sequence. So all of this happens in phase 2. And then phase 3 is the moment they purchase your services. And that can be an ebook, but it can also be your $800 sleep support package for 3 weeks. Whatever it is, they make a purchase. They have one step further, they're one step further in your process. And then phase 4 is the service phase. So once they have paid, you deliver upon what you've promised them. So you give them that guide that they bought, or you give them the 3-week support that you've told them that they would get when they buy this. And then the 5th phase is the loyalty phase, or the advocacy phase. So this is the phase, your service is finished, and you're asking for testimonials, reviews, and they start talking, if you've done a good job, they start talking about your services. So this is the 5th phase. So we have those 5 phases. And for the purpose of today, talking about our online presence, talking about marketing strategy, this is all in phase 1. Because I told you already, phase 1 is the awareness phase. This is the first stage of your customer journey. And this is where potential buyers, potential customers, become aware of a problem that they knew they had, but they didn't know there was a solution for, or they didn't realize it was actually a problem because all the moms around them tell them, oh no, it's normal, the first 2 years you just don't sleep. And they didn't know they had a problem. And this is also the phase that they think this could be something, but they're not so far in the phase yet that they would actually buy. So this is the awareness phase. And there are some key points here. The first one is, like I said, they don't know that they have a problem, or that there is a challenge or a struggle that they're dealing with. Or they are aware, but they don't know that there's a solution to it. And this is the phase when they come into your feed, they come on your blog, they start a conversation with you because they start researching. And they're wondering if there are solutions out there. Poop, and you pop up. Or they don't know and you pop up and then they realize. So then they start researching like, oh, there's such a thing as sleep consulting. What is that? What is sleep training? Oh, I don't want my baby to. Oh, there are other ways than just cry it out. So this is the phase that they do the information research. And this is also the phase they come across your brand And we want to consistently show up, and this is what I talked about yesterday in your brand guidelines. You want to have a consistent presence because this builds trust. So this one social media post that pops up that put their mind to thinking like, hey, and then the next time it comes up, oh, I've seen this person. And they build this emotional connection with your content. And this can be like online, but it can also be word of mouth. They see you on the playground, you're talking to some people, they pick up something, and the next time they see you, part of your brand, they're like, oh, I should ask her actually, she might know more. And then you keep building that. So your goal in this first phase, in the awareness phase, is to educate about what's possible and what you're doing, provide value, because you know they're not ready to buy yet, most of them. There's like a small percentage who see something, bam, take action. I have that with certain things, not with everything. There are things that I need to take a long time, sometimes 6 months to a year to think about before I buy something. And there are things that I'm like, okay, this problem is too big, I want this fast gone, bam, invest. So those people who quickly invest, they go very quickly through your journey. But we're talking about the people who show up, you provide them value, so that builds trust, and you position yourself as a very helpful resource, the go-to place if they have questions. So the moment they do consider your service, or your product, or your guide, they will come to you and they will move further along the journey. Because remember, even if they would find another sleep consultant, they would not jump into where they were with you. They start all the way from the beginning. Hey, okay, this person is also doing sleep consulting. And then they start all the way from scratch. So you have them already in the funnel. So this phase is very important to provide that value, to show your expertise, and guide them slowly, kindly, gently through your customer journey. So that when they come across at the end, they're going to move on to the consideration phase, and they're way much more likely to move on to the purchase phase. Now, this awareness phase will look different than the one from your fellow sleep consultant. Mine looks different than yours. And I don't say they're all looking different. That's not true. But we all have our own awareness phase that we are creating, our own customer journey, how it starts. And this is because the awareness phase depends on the strategy you're going to use. So your strategy can be posting 3, 4, 5 times a week on Instagram or on Facebook. Or it can be writing every week a highly valuable SEO written blog and post it on your website and share that wherever you can. Or maybe your strategy is for this awareness phase that it's in-person conversations. So like I said, the playground, the yoga class, the hanging flyers, and like in the supermarket. That can also be a strategy to get your new clients or the next client. Or it can be hosting workshops and events. And that is your strategy. So you get what I mean. There's so many different ways to figure out what you're going to do, but you need to be consciously thinking about this. What is happening in your awareness phase? Because if there's nothing happening, then they're never going to get through your journey, right? We cannot just say, here's my sleep package, it's $497. No, it doesn't work like that. Like I said, there's like a tiny percentage of people who are like, I needed that, bomb, they buy. The others need this journey, so you need to create that for them. So I know there are sleep consultants who don't do webinars. None. They don't want to do that, and they don't want to hop on calls. And they get clients. I know sleep consultants who don't want to be on social media, and they get clients. It does not really matter about your strategy. Whatever you do, go full in. And like I said on the first day, have a strategy that you can commit to for 12 months. So that needs to be aligned with whatever you're doing, with your why, your guiding principles. And then this strategy, you get better and better at it. So for example, if you say, okay, I love writing, I'm going to write a blog on my website every week, because that's the other thing. Of course, we want quality, but we also need quantity, because the awareness phase, they're not looking for you. Sometimes, most of the times not. Sometimes you come up. So how do you come up if there's enough content going around, right? And especially when you're starting, it's not with one blog that you're going to expect, oh, people are going to come in. Well, you can expect it, but it's not working like that, unfortunately. And if it does, text me because I want to know your secret. So what we want to do with the awareness phase is put out quality because we want to show our expertise, but also quantity a lot. So this is why a lot of those social media coaches are pushing you to post 2-3 times a day. And that is amazing, and the strategy works if it is aligned with you. Do you want to get freaking good at social media? Awesome, go for it. But don't let yourself be distracted with writing blogs and hanging flyers and hosting workshops. Keep it simple. Simplicity always wins. So if you want to go full in on Instagram, go for it. If you want to go full in into the blog writing, don't write one blog a month. Push out one blog a week at least. And this you can transfer in some posts on Instagram. And again, I'm going to talk about that in a bit because I'm going to talk about that in a bit. So when you do it, it's about quality, but it's also about quantity. So I want to ask you now, what is your strategy going to be? How are you going to put out value into the world during the awareness phase that there are people who are going to be able to come across at you? And this can be, I said in the example, if you love writing, you can do writing a blog post every week. Yes, it's great if you love something, but it's also great if you want to get good at something. So some of the things that I wanted to get good at, which I didn't like because I didn't understand it, was the SEO blog writing. How can I do that? So I followed a course about that. This woman was explaining everything step by step, psychology behind it, and the technical aspects. And then I started doing it, and then I got better and better and better at it. And then it's getting fun, right? Because a lot of things in the beginning are not fun when they're challenging. But if you know, like, I want to get good at this because this is a skill I want to have, this is also a way to say, like, okay, for the coming 12 months, I'm going to write one blog post a week. So first of all, you need to do your research for the blog post so you get a lot of knowledge. And you can say, like, on Monday, I watched 3 YouTube videos about the subject that I want to talk about. On Tuesday, I'm writing 10 different blogs of people who wrote something about it. On Wednesday, I'm going to think about the outline that I want to create. On Thursday, I write the introduction and the first 2 paragraphs. And on Friday, I revisit, I finish it off, and I publish it. And then you're the whole week busy. You're creating value. You're gaining expertise, which you can easily share in your social media. So create a plan that works for you, something that you can do consistently. And promise me that you do that for 12 months before you give up. Because this is what I see a lot, and I talked about it on Monday as well. You can go full in for 1, 2, 3 months. Everybody can do that. But if you then burn out and you give up, everything, okay, I don't want to say it has been for nothing, because of course you picked up skills and you learned something. But that was not the goal, right? It was not the goal to get good at blog writing. No, the goal is to get more clients. And that you get good at blog writing is the secondary goal. So think about that strategy. Think about that strategy. It's the same with workshops. If you decide workshops are my thing, I love hosting workshops, organizing events, cool. But you cannot get away with once every quarter. You need to do this consistently, at least once a month. If you can do 3 online and 1 in person, perfect. That is a strategy to have. So that feels overwhelming. Okay, maybe that's not your strategy then. And then the webinars or the events are extra. And your strategy is, let's go back to the blog writing, is blog writing, that's your strategy, and once in a while you do a workshop because you like it, but it's not your strategy, that's an extra. You want to have one primary strategy. Keep it simple. Again, keep it simple. Okay, I talked and you could not even think probably, but think about a strategy that could work for you, because once you have the strategy, then you start thinking about your online presence, because I see way too often people getting full in on their social media account, but actually if their strategy is blog writing, it doesn't make sense. Are there people who built a beautiful, like 5-page website with all details? Awesome. If your strategy is to blog write, everybody's gonna jump on your website. So you wanna make sure that this is your window shopping mall picture that presents that. But if you're an in-person strategy, then your website is just there for credibility. You get my point? So it depends on your goals, and that's so important to realize that. So I want you to think about a strategy, and then we're gonna think about the online presence. Where should be the main focus on? And there are some basic things that you want to have in place no matter which strategy you choose. And that is, for example, a website. You want to have a website because nowadays this is your credibility factor. And again, a website can look different with different strategies and with different goals. Like I said, if your goal is to write blogs, you want to have a beautiful website that's working well, that this is your main store. This is everything. This is the first touch point they get, and this is probably the last touch point they get. So this is everything. But if you're in person, your website can be just a single page explaining what you're doing, and it's just there for people if they're like, is this person real? Is there really something like, is it official what she's doing? Did she set up a business? And they can just check and get all the information they need. Testimonials, very important on no matter what strategy you choose, you want to have them everywhere. So your website. Now I wrote some things down that I want to share with you, some key things for your website. And of course, the first one, it needs to look clean. It needs to be user friendly. It needs to be very easy to navigate. All makes sense, but way too often I see websites that text boxes go over on top of each other and things just don't make sense. Make sure that it's clean, give it a lot of white space so people in their brain have time to process everything they're reading and moving on. Now, second thing is mobile responsiveness. I see still so many websites that if you look on the desktop, awesome, looks great, because this is where most of the websites are designed. If you do it yourself, are designers. But then you go on the mobile version and things are just not working. It's different, the experience on the mobile phone. So you want to make sure it's mobile responsive. And when you install Google Analytics on your website, you will see that most of the websites of my clients as well, and mine too, is like 70 to 80% of the people, they arrive the first time on your website through their mobile phone. So this is the experience they have. And a lot of times when they buy, they move back to the desktop version. A lot of people feel a little bit more safe with that. But still, this is your first impression. You want to make sure it's mobile friendly. And your website, you want to make sure that you use some SEO, some basic SEO things. So one of them is, of course, keywords. Make sure that that is clear who you're focusing on. And this is what I said on day 3. Yesterday about your ideal client. It's not tired moms. For tired moms, you're not going to be able that anybody's going to find your website through Google because the competition is way too big. So you want to be very specific. Again, what do you want to be known for? What is your unique advantage? Put all of this together and come up with a phrase that is specifically for these moms. Sleep consulting packages for busy lawyers, moms, or something like that. You see, there's so much in that key phrase that they can be Googling for that you want to make sure that your website pops up when they Google. So you want to have these keywords in your titles, in your text, in your page, but also in your meta description. So these are the pictures. When you upload a picture to your website, doesn't matter which platform you're using, you want to make sure before you upload them to the website that the keyword is in there. And you cannot just keep the keyword, you need to explain what's on the picture. But you want to make sure that before you upload to the website it's there, and then when it's in the website, again, you want to give this explanation with this picture. Because when people Google, pictures popping up as well, right? This is one of the things that my business grew so fast, because you guys are Googling sleep plan template and whoop, pictures are popping up from the work that I've done because I put my SEO keywords related to that on the picture. So headings, things like that. Now, of course, you want to have good quality content. You don't want to have spelling mistakes. You don't want to, I know some people say, oh, that makes it real. No, if you can spot it, remove it. If it happens, it happens. If you spot spelling mistake, let somebody read through it, remove it, because it makes you look less professional. That's not what we want, right? Even if that's not your guiding principle, we want to come across professional. We take this serious. We want to help those families. So high quality, relevant content, whatever you're putting out, make sure that it's of value, that it's correct, that if you use sources, that you refer to that. And so those are the most important things for your website. I have a whole YouTube video on my channel that is explaining like from beginning to end how to build a high converting website, and I explain, for example, above the fold. This is a very important section. Above the fold is the first section that people see on their phone or on their desktop, and this is the section where they decide, do I want to read further? Is this for me or not? So this is a very important part of your website. So if you go the do-it-yourself route, really check out the video. If you cannot find it, just drop me a message. Oh, I can drop it below the video, below this video actually. If you watch the replay, you can find it there. And if you're watching live now, just give me a moment to finish up and I'll drop the link there. If you go the do-it-yourself route, this is a great way to get some support on that. Okay, website. Can be basic, can be very in detail, depends on your strategy. The next one I want you to do, and maybe this is even before your website, you want to have a website for that, is setting up your Google business profile. If you've never heard about it, again, I have a YouTube video, a video that I recorded is on YouTube. All of this content is freely available about your Google business profile and how to set it up. This is your business card. Google gives this to you for free. You can just sign up, you verify your business, that it's a real business, your website address, your business address, and then you're in a system that whenever somebody Googles sleep consultant Alabama, oh no, sleep consultant Birmingham, I just say something, they Google that and then you pop up in the Google Maps section, because that's what Google Business Profile does. And it shows everything. And it is so powerful, really. Make sure to do that, because this is, and again, you want to keep it up to date and optimized, and the content that you're putting out with your blogs or in your Instagram posts, you can add that there. So if people pop up, they can be linked to other places where your content is, depending on your strategy, where you want them to go, of course. But set up your Google Business Profile. Very, very, very important. Okay, and another one is also, and I don't hear enough people talking about this, is making sure to get on listings and directories. So what this means, there are many businesses, companies, agencies out there who are collecting information to give value to their clients. So for example, hospitals, they have a whole list, and I'm not sure if we can get on that list, but I just want to explain to you. They have a list with a directory that if people have questions or they need a specific support or service, they can click on that and they're being redirected to your website. Ta-da! So there are listings like Chamber of Commerce, for example, in the US. A very good one to get on that list there. And some you have to pay for, most of them are free. And they just promoting your website, your services. Usually you write a short blurb about this. It's amazing, because not only do you have another audience that can see your services and go click on your website, what it also does, Google sees that there's a backlink, that's what they call it, like a link from your website is posted on another website, and Google thinks, oh, this must be a legit website. So the more backlinks you can create online, the more your website is going to be quicker popping up when somebody is looking for something specific that you're offering. Because Google is like, I know a legit website that maybe can help, and they pop yours up. So listings and directories are very, very good. And it can be as simple as you write a blog post for somebody and you have your freebie link in that blog post that's going back to your website. Or you host a webinar or a podcast and they're like, okay, where can people find more about you? And we write it in the comments and your link is there. So try to get this link out of your website, and it can be the home URL, homepage URL, or it can be a subpage. But these are all backlinks that go to your website. These are organic. I know there are people who buy it. Don't do that. Google picks it up. And especially now, like I said in the beginning of the week as well, be careful with all these things, because the AI bots, they can just create them and they hunt everybody down. So don't get that way. Always make it organic or do it through paid ads. So it's an official route. But so that is very important, your listing and directories. And you can just Google sleep consultant, directories, New York. And you see a whole list. And of course you want to do that for your own region. And yeah, so really set that up. Your Google Business Profile, listings and directory, and have a website. And then the last thing is your social media. Now again, your social media looks different depending on your goals. If your goal and your strategy is to go all in on social media, make sure that everything looks super polished, that you give tons of value there, and get freaking good at it. Understand what's going on with the algorithms and the analytics and everything. Now, if you decide to go for the blog writing route, I'll keep saying those two, but it's just easier to give an example. Then you want to go all in to understanding how do you write a good blog? What is SEO blog writing? How can I make my website show up on... You want to get freaking good at it. And it's not about... Don't make that mistake. It's the same with social media. It's the same with every strategy. Don't make the mistake to say, oh, I'm going to study this. And then in 6 months, I'm going to put my first piece of content out. Don't do that. Your first pieces, no matter how long you study, are going to be crap. I hate to tell you, but this is the truth. Because it needs practice. And practice you only get when you do it. If I can read every book about how to build muscles, but it's only going to be the day that I'm in the gym and that I'm feeling embarrassed that all these people are looking at me and I feel very uncomfortable and I do that first rep. That is the moment that I start making progress. And then in 20 weeks, I'm going to look back and see and think like, oh my God, I did that the first time? You're never going to have that experience if you're not making that step forward. Okay? So take action no matter what you're choosing. Don't fall in the trap of studying. If you do the SEO blog writing, write one blog, put it out, get the experience out. The second blog, you're going to think headings. How can I make headings effective? The title of your blog. You do research for an hour on Monday, on Tuesday, you figure out, and you build this up. And the next week you're going to think, how can I make sure that the picture is actually, you get my point. And the same for social media. Get that first post out. If you committed to 3 posts a week, get them out. And schedule a certain time in your week that you say, okay, this is my research time. Now I need to get better at this one little aspect. And if you don't know where to start, just drop it in ChatGPT. I hope you've heard about that. If not, send me a text and I'll send you a free course that I recorded. ChatGPT is amazing. You tell them what you want and it gives you a list. Okay, this is how you can build your progress in 12 weeks and to become an expert on SEO blogging. It's super easy and you just do. Week 1, okay, I need to do this. Okay, let's go. Let's get freaking good at it. Because this is the only way you have quantity and quality and you get better and better and better and better. But this is why I always keep saying, keep it simple, take one strategy and all the other things, nice, do that as extra. But have one strategy that you get freaking good at. Because if you have 5 things that you're focusing, you write a blog every week, you do social media, you do a YouTube video, you also do an Instagram live, and you talk to people on the playground, you only have 100% of your energy. So if you have 5 things, that means you have to split that 100% energy in 20% brackets. How long is it going to take you, you think, to get good at those things? Forever. Because you have no time to research and get better at 5 things. You're not. So if you focus on one thing, you put 100% of your energy in it, you get, first of all, progress way much faster and the effect of it as well. So don't get distracted by all these things. Don't look on Instagram and another shiny object comes up. It's again the emotional cycle of change. You're now excited about writing blogs. Next week you're like, oh, actually it's harder than I thought. The 3rd week in, oh my gosh, there's so much stuff that I didn't know. I'm quit this. I'm gonna go all in on social media. Week 1, this is amazing. I'm gonna make so much. Look at all the content ideas that I have. Week 2, oh gosh, it takes me 2 hours to make one post. Week 3, I don't know what to write this week. Okay, I'm gonna do something else. Oh, there's this coach that said, you keep moving in this cycle from stage 1 to 3 and you never come out of that valley of despair to move up to stage 4. And I don't want that for you because it's gonna make you feel demotivated. I don't want that. I want you to succeed. So keep it simple. Very important. Now for social media, one more thing is also, if before you choose a platform, think about your ideal client. Where are they hanging out? Are they on Facebook? Are they on Instagram? Are they on Pinterest? Are they on LinkedIn? Because it's not about your preference. It's about where your ideal clients are. So think about that. And then create engaging content and build an audience organically. Like I said before, on Tuesday with the regulations, the FTC has increased the regulations and they're really watching out. So don't buy followers, It's not worth it. It's only gonna push you back in a while. So write content that is of high value, put some hashtags in it, follow whatever the coaches are saying to do, and just stay on top of that. And if your social media is just a byproduct, it's there for credibility, then just make sure that there is once every week or once every 2 weeks something going out. So then when the people, if your in-person is your strategy, when the people are like, hey, do you have an Instagram account? Yeah, I do. And they look and they see, oh, it's a post from 1 week ago. You know, that's different than 1 year ago. Or there's no Instagram account. How can I learn more about you? So again, depending on your strategy. And then there's one more thing that I want everybody to do. Super important. And that is build an email list. Please, 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 please don't neglect this. I'm not asking you to write newsletters. I didn't say that. I just said build an email list. Collect email addresses. And newsletter, I can highly recommend this because it keeps you on top of mind of other people. But if everything feels overwhelmed and you need to do all these things, it doesn't matter. Just build an email list, collect the email addresses. Because I want to take a moment to talk about something that often gets mixed up. And that is the difference between social media followers versus email list subscribers. And they might look the same. Oh, there are people who are in my awareness phase. And they are interested or they're curious about what I'm doing. But they play very different roles in your business. So your social media followers are like guests who join you at a party. They're there for the nice atmosphere, the tips, they check out the snacks, maybe they dance a little bit. And they might say, oh, your dress looks great today, or they share somebody else the invite to the party. But mostly, they're just coming into your world and they're going out. And why? It's not by choice. It's how the algorithm works. I mean, scroll on Instagram. How often do you see my posts popping up? Probably not as often as I want you to see them. Because this is how the algorithm works. It keeps pushing different types of content. And the only way you can see all my posts is to click on my post, go to my profile, and then you see my whole grid with, by the way, if we're not friends yet on Instagram, go find me because I have so much value and ideas and tips that I'm sharing there. But you can only see that when you click on my grid. So for me to rely on that, it's a big thing. But for them, you go in and out, in and out, in and out, and they move and they see something else and they fly through it. So social media is a fantastic way to attract people into your world. This is amazing. If you make a good post and it goes viral, it doesn't even have to go viral in the millions. If it's just going to more people being pushed out than the amount of followers you have, that is going viral. Let's not make it bigger than it is. And they see that and they follow you, great, they're in your world. But most of the time, then that's it. The problem is, and I want you to really understand this, you don't own your social media followers. And I had to learn that a very hard way. Because if a platform changes its algorithms or decides to limit your reach, which we most of the time don't even know about, or what happened to me, your account get blocked because you don't follow the community guidelines, and then you start fighting and making comments and say, have you seen my account? I give value. I don't. And this was actually my personal account. It's my travel account that I've been running for almost 10 years. And as you know, if you know me a little bit, I'm a nomad, so I move every month to another location. So all these photos, connections, all the friends that I made, I all put them on my Instagram account, and that's where we communicated. And Instagram decided to block my account because I didn't follow the community guidelines. In that moment, I hadn't posted for 1 month. I don't know where it's coming from. There are people who can say, I don't like this account. Block, spam, report. And they decided to block it, and I tried to get it out. And I know there are some people who get out of the system again and they get it run up, and I couldn't. And they said, no, you're not following the guidelines. And bam, my whole account was gone. And then all your hard work, in my case, all my contacts, all my pictures. Of course I have my pictures in a folder somewhere, but not as nicely presented as on the Instagram that I had. So it's all gone. And really understand that you don't own your social media followers. They're there. If Instagram decide, oh, we're done, too much work, bam, and they close the platform, all your people are gone, all the connections, all the value you gave. Please, don't do that. Don't end up like that. So, email list subscribers, they are, if we keep talking about the metaphor of the party, they come to your party and they hang around after the party. Maybe they help you clean up a little bit. They stay because they're interested in what you have to say. They're not just there for the party, they're there for you. And they want to keep the conversation going. So this is the same. When people subscribe to your email list, that means that there is something that you said, something you shared, that they want to be part of. Something that they value, that they want to have, and that can be free. Something that you offer, and they want to learn more. So your email list is your direct line to your audience, not like social media. If I post something, I cannot 100% guarantee that everybody in this group is going to see it. Not even that you ignore it. No, it just doesn't pop up at all. But if I send an email, I can exactly see in my platform, don't want to freak you out, is who opened the email, who clicked on the link, how many people, the percentage, which is super useful data, of course, for me to know. I send an email, people open it, they don't click. Hey, what's going on? And I can make changes. This is not the same as what we see in Instagram. But this is not the point that I want to make. What I want to make is that your email subscribers, your list, is yours. Of course, if you get their emails through a platform, make sure that you download the file once in a while, because if that platform goes down, then your list is gone anyway. But if you export your list and you keep a file, and if you do that once a month or once every 2 months, so you make sure that you keep as many of those followers, again, you don't even have to send a newsletter, but that one day that something goes wrong, or that one day that you want to send out a promo for your course or for something, you want to be able to directly reach them and not hope that Instagram or Facebook is showing your content to them. So this is why emails or email addresses are so important. And in general also, I don't know how what your inbox looks like, but in general, emails are having a higher opening rate and a higher reading rate than your content on social media. So to wrap this up, social media followers are great for visibility, great to attract new potential clients. But then you want to take them through the journey, and the next step is like get them from social media and get them on your email list. And this is where you can build a deeper connection, and this is where you can drive sales. Now, okay, I want an email list now. I get it, Rihanna. How do you build an email list? What you have to do is create a funnel. And funnels aren't complicated. Seriously, there are people out there that try to make it look complicated so they can do the work for you. And you can pay them big time. They're super simple. They just exist of 4 parts. And the first part is your lead magnet. You need to, of course, you need to have something that they want to leave your email address for. So you want them to, you've done it for my workshop actually. I said there's a free workshop, but you need to sign in for that. So there needs to be something of value behind it. Signing up for a workshop, a lead magnet, a download, a bonus, a discount code, whatever it is, something of value. And then the second is you want to have an opt-in page where people leave their name, their email address, and then they click on enter. The next one is you want to have a thank you page. You want to be clearly telling them, okay, your email is on its way, your lead magnet is coming, it's in your inbox. And thank you for downloading it. You share the next steps. You can share another offer or schedule a sleep assessment call with me on that thank you page. And then, and this is what I see a lot of sleep consultants don't do, is you want to have an email nurture sequence. And you know, if you don't write newsletters, at least set this up with 3 to 5 emails in which you, in the first email, you tell them, again, go on my Instagram account. I share my 6 email framework, and you can just kind of copy paste that and use it and write your own version of it. It's like thanking them for downloading the freebie, and again, the link to the download, because a lot of people get lost otherwise. And then an email you give value, an email you share some testimonials of other clients, then you invite them to hop on a sleep assessment call, and this is like a little sequence, 3 to 5 days that they receive, that they get immediately subscribe to when they opt in to your lead magnet page, your opt-in page. So that's it. So these last three things, the opt-in page, thank you page, and the email sequence, you need to have this on a platform, of course. This cannot be a Google Docs because that doesn't work, because you want to collect the email addresses, right? So you want to have a system that will automate this. And then the only thing you do, and there's so many platforms out there, if you're doubting about a platform, just send me a text and I can help you figure out which platform is the best. But the thing is, when you've set up your funnel, you want to keep optimizing it. You don't want to build another funnel. You want to keep it simple, one funnel, and make it better. Like I said like 10 minutes ago, if there's an email, people don't click, and they do open the email, or they don't open emails at all, and your 80% closing rate, you want to figure out what's going on and optimize it. So we always want to go deeper, not wider, okay? It's about getting better, not more. It's about getting better, 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 better. So if you're struggling with this, I have a course, Build Your Funnel in 1 day. Really, I told you, it's not that difficult. I have all the templates included, all the text, all the copy is there. It's just plug and play, you change it, you put your own logo and finish. It's only $47 because I don't want to rip you off. And I'll drop it in the link in the comments as well. It's in my shop. So that could help you out. So, whew! There was a lot again today, but I hope this has been very helpful and insightful and brought a lot of new things and ideas up. For today, I want you to think about your strategy, first of all. Don't think too long. Get started. It's the most important thing. But think about what can you make a 12-month commitment to. And then if there are extra things, great, you can do them. But what is your 12-month commitment? And find a person, find an accountability partner, or tell your partner or your best friend and say, hey, this is what I'm going to do. Can you check in with me regularly and see if I'm still on track? Something like this can be that simple. So think about your strategy. Then if you have your business registered, set up your Google Business profile. You need to verify it. It can sometimes take up to 2 weeks, depending on, they have 3 different verification processes. They either way send you an email, they call on your phone, or they send you a postcard. And with the postcard, it always takes a bit more time to verify your business, your company, and your address. Oh, and there's one also that they want you to take a video of your business location. So it depends on which one you get. But you want to have that set up as soon as possible, because on your Google Business profile, you can collect reviews. And that's what you want. You want to have a place where people leave reviews, not just randomly on your desktop in a folder, because that doesn't help you. Google proof, social proof is super important to get your business going, and especially in the beginning. So this is a great place. And when people say like, hey, do you have a, yeah, here's my my previous clients, and you can just build that up. On my Instagram account, I also have a tip that I'm talking about, like if you don't have so many testimonials yet, what can you do? So check that one out as well. It's very valuable. Just check out all my posts. Just scroll through them. It's worth it. And then set up a website. Simple, complicated, depends on your goals. A funnel, get on those listings and directories, and open a social media account. Even if that's you go all in, or if that's just like social proof out there. So if all of this, I'm almost overwhelmed. If all of this feels very overwhelming to you, I understand, because it feels a lot. And this is the thing when you're starting a business, it's super exciting, but you also didn't know what everything that comes with it. But this is foundational work. I'm not telling you to do anything that is unnecessary, because it's missing the point. What you need to do, your most important goal in your first year is making profit, become profitable. Because if you're not becoming profitable, you're gonna quit, I know. So we wanna keep it simple and the foundation. So if all of this feels overwhelming, I get it. Then make sure to watch my video tomorrow, hopefully be live. I would really appreciate that. I like to see you live. You will love tomorrow, because we're gonna talk about workflow automation. And I also have a surprise for you. So I hope to see you tomorrow live. Bye.